Good morning, police force. We've got a lamb cluster. We've got 1, 2, 3 lambs to 2 ewes, and 1 is still lambing. I'm sure she's still lambing. Yes, she's definitely still lambing. She's doing well. And that means that we've got 2 sets of twins, but the challenge will be, whose is what? Whose is what? They both seem obsessed with this front lamb here. Anyway, everything's all okay. The one that looks motionless, that's just had its head up, so we're okay there. I'll just wait till she lambs, and then we'll have a good sort out and a good chat, eh? We're being photobombed by the one that's lambed. Well done, girl. That's brilliant. And here we go. Always worth a check if they lie still for too long. But that was brilliant. A good birth. There we are. This one's sneezing it all out. This one that also looked dead is alive. They have a very, very good way of faking it, but you can never be too sure because often they do die. So we've just got to make sure that they're definitely out and safe, but where you can, because they keep giving birth in between checks. This one's got a floppy ear, Flopsy. Yeah, like I say, that it's nice to let them give birth naturally, but see, this one's already sucking, look. But yeah, they do lie still, and this one wasn't breathing for a little while, but anyway, it's up and running. And this is where you've got to listen to the conversation, because the ewe on the right is going to that lamb, and the lamb at the back she has just literally given birth to, so that means those 2 are hers. And the yellow lamb looks like the second lamb, and look, there's a conversation there. So that is how you tell whether a cluster of lambs, but it doesn't always go like that, whether a cluster of lambs, what lambs go to what ewes. You see that they do try and ante them, they can, you know, they're curious about other ewes' lambs. So you've got to wait for extra strong signs and even witness births. See, that's not her lamb and she's licking it. So the sooner I can get these into pens now, the better. So remember, the ewe on the right belongs to the far right lamb and the lamb on the left. The ewe in the centre has the 2 centre lambs. Time to swap the pens. Separated now. And these two are sucking already. The one at the back's just had a suck, so a good start. Yeah, they've been on the udder just now. And here we are. 1 ewe to 2 lambs, 2 ewes and 2 twins. Now this one looks flat, but watch when you touch it. You know, it starts to go. But it's obviously, with the yellow on it, it's obviously been in a little bit longer. It's quite small. So just as a precaution, I will give it a bit of colostrum straight away, just to make sure it definitely has energy straight away going forwards. Anything that looks a little bit more sleepy, yeah, we just give a little bit more help. There's no harm in it. More risk if you don't. These 2 lambs need processing, so the tails need ringing. That's a good one as well, look protecting. So these 2 lambs need the tail bands on, which is painless. No distress to the lamb at all. Tail bands on. There's 1 tup and 1 ewe in here, so the tup needs castrating. Again, just a little band, painless for the lamb. And then they can be marked, and then they can go into the creche. Meanwhile, these 2 sets here can stay in the pen for a day, I would think. A day, yeah, because these are already up and sucking. If I feel that this lamb still needs a bit more help, yeah, we'll push it back another day, but it's doing quite well. And the last job is hydration, fibre and treats to get the nutrition and the hydration going through the ewes, so that takes care of the ewe and gets the milk flowing down to the lambs, so that nothing dries up, nothing happens there. This one's sucking. This one has been up and sucking, but they can easily go dopey. I think this one's all right, just dopey from birth. But if I do see this after a while, which is now, this one's weaker, this one's strong. So I am just going to give this one colostrum, hasn't sucked yet. This one might have sucked a little bit of colostrum, just an energy boost, and then you're definitely safe. And that's all you can do until this stage has passed. It's a good feeder. There we are, my goodness. 100 ml. So this gives the lamb the energy and the warmth. It was a little bit cold in the mouth, so it definitely needed a little bit of a boost. And with a bit of a rub, this lamb will be, yeah, it was on its feet before, but it just had some flat moments, just looked a little bit flat and cold compared to this one who's already sucking off its mother. This one has attempted to suck, but we just want to make sure that this goes upward in its energy levels, not downward in its energy levels. It's a cold, damp day, colder, damp day today, so, you know, we just need to make sure, you know, and I've got to make sure that lamb's not going to get cold, so the sooner it's drying off, the better. If it's going to look colder in the next 20 minutes or so, it's just coming inside for a little quick warm up, and then put back in the pen, because the mother's bonded to it. It's got everything going for it, but we just don't want a lack of colostrum because it hasn't fed, energy levels, we don't want it getting cold. This quieter lamb is already up and away. So we'll see how this one does. It looks fairly strong. I'll monitor it in the next 10 minutes. Does it need colostrum, or is it going to have another little suck? Time to dip the navels, I think, as well, just to make sure that they're not going to pick anything up. And oh yes, I don't think this one's going to need colostrum if it's going to look to suck like that. If it's going to actually latch on and get a good feed, then we're going to be okay. But she's also got to absolutely accept that it sucks. She has let it suck before, but we just want to make sure she's not going to decide to reject it in any way. These are shearlings, so it's their second time lambing. I did lamb them as hogs. you get more twins, the lambs come out easier, but this is still fairly new territory. So some ewes will absolutely stand, some will still be a little bit dabby at the lambs, some might just be a little bit dabby at one lamb, more at one lamb than the other. She spent more time with the stronger lamb, so this more sleepy lamb that's going to suck, you know, hopefully she'll just let it suck. I'm going to walk away for 10 minutes though, because it's when ewes are stressed at the starting circle, starting to stress about a little bit at their situation. Look at this lamb now after its colostrum. Oh, bit wobbly still, but it's going there. It's looking a lot warmer. And I've just seen her lick these 2 lambs. Still keeping an eye on the flatter lamb, but it looks okay. It's just been up and had a little stand about. So we'll see how these goes. Anyway, rings on the tails and castrate, which is painless. Just slips on, slip the ring on, and it's painless for the lambs. I haven't seen any signs of pain in any lamb if it's done carefully. So you just slip it on, just like putting a ring on your finger, but that ring is tight and it just steadily kills the flesh and the nerves, and then it just falls off. And it has to be done within the first week, but I do it on day-old lambs, and then we just mark. So she'll get a mark on her bum, the 2 lambs will just get a quick mark on the top of the tail, and then we know those 2 lambs belong to her. I'm not painting great big numbers on them. We're not big enough for that, but if we can just sort of have a little sort out, then we know if there's a problem later on, we know which ewe it is. Just a quick mark that's consistent to the ewe. I'm not going to point the camera at her. Bit stressy this morning. And tail band. So that just puts a ring on, and then this over a couple of weeks will drop off. But this prevents fly strike. When flies lay eggs into that, it is not good. And I do have a fluffy tail, especially as they grow up, so it just helps them later in life. It doesn't look good now, but it doesn't hurt them. And then equally a castration band there. So this one is done. Absolutely fine. The other one is a ewe, a girl. So again, she just has the tail band on, but I'm not going to point the camera at the ewe because she might run around and we don't want her to stand on here. And that's them all moved. They're ready, they're processed. So we're generating a little flock here that will be able to go out in the field after another couple of days monitoring. Lovely. We're all back in, and it's now time to reset the system once again.